You want people to hate you, folks. Every great person that has walked planet Earth has been hated before they were admired. If you study the most successful people that you know in any business, the Warren Buffetts in finance, the LeBron James in basketball, you just start studying them. I've been studying them since my dad died. My dad died when I was 10 years old, and I needed mentors. And you can't go get another dad. My uncles, they had their own life going on, so they couldn't mentor me. So I was like, well, who are these people? We all have examples. The problem today in America is the example that we measure against for most things is actually diminishing. It's getting more and more average. We're becoming an epidemic of mediocrity. So if you study the really, really, exuberantly successful people, you're going to find out these people they're going to have some traits in common. Obsessed. If you've ever met a great sales manager, great salesperson, great used car manager, great finance manager, they're obsessed. They read, study, learn, eat it, breathe it. They talk about, the car business is in my blood. They're obsessed people. See, obsession in our culture, though, is not a good thing. When you hear the word obsession, you start thinking a guy's got a problem, obsessive compulsive disorder, they're diseased people. Look, if you're not getting labeled, if people are not labeling you in society as a freak case, neurotic, labeling you with some made-up phenomenons like ADD, obsessive compulsive, you're a whack job, you're a freak, then you're not successful. Because all 10Xers, everybody that you know on their way up has been labeled by others, typically average people, that sit back in their sofas and critique the rest of the world, not do much, but they do critique exceptionally well. It's interesting, I'll do a speech and somebody's like, I'd love to give you some criticism. I'm like, really? Really? Come on, really? Why don't you go do something productive? Because I'm trying to get to 10X, dude. I don't have time for criticism. Why would I stop and criticize you? All it does is defer me from getting this. And so the 10Xers, man, they're obsessed. They're extremely focused. They're greedy, by the way. Most of them are greedy. They want more. Greedy's not a bad thing, except to those that don't have enough. The word more is not a bad thing, except to those who? That don't have enough. The only people that say more is bad is the people that don't have enough. So you got to change your mentality. These people, the 10Xers, they're obsessed, they're compulsive, they're focused, they're maniacs, they're going to be judged, they're going to be labeled. They're pushers, okay? Employees might not like them. Employees might not like being with them. They probably don't do a lot of small talk. They probably don't sit around and shoot the shit. Find a lot of times for the BS. So they get labeled by society because they're like, too focused, that's wrong, blah, blah, blah. More like Alexander the Great than maybe the buddy that just wants to make friends with everybody. You don't need balance in your life. You need to be a freaking maniac about everything. You need speeding tickets. Speeding tickets are good, okay? People that don't get speeding tickets aren't in a hurry. I am in a hurry. I want to go places. I've gotten 8 tickets in Miami in the last 4 months. The cop says, dude, you again? I said, me again, bro. Let's do it quick. Let's keep it tight. Let's keep it quick. Shit, I'd like to get a pass. Like, y'all just hook me up on the fly. He's like, man, why are you always going so fast? Because I'm in a hurry, brother. I'm in a hurry. I don't want to ride with all these people. I want to get out in front, and if I got to get a ticket because I'm going to get somewhere quicker, bring the ticket. So the ticket cost me $150, and where I was going was $1 million. But what do most people do? I got to slow down, man. I got to balance. Now I got to find some time with my little girl. Now I got to find some time with my wife. No, I need to be great with my little girl, great with my wife, and great with my clients. I don't want to do this. So that's the point I was making earlier. When I'm with my kid, I want to be great. That means while I'm at work, I need to be spectacular. I need to finish deals. I need to close cycles, not just, hey, let's do some business and walk away, because that's gonna load up in my head. And so when I'm playing with my little 3-year-old, my 1-year-old, I'm like, man, I need to close that deal. Shut that guy down at 10x. Lean on him, make him buy from you, make him take your product. Then I can actually be with my daughter. I can be with her all the way. Then when I go out with a client and party with a client, or when I come to a conference, I can be here all the way knowing this weekend I'm gonna freak my little girls out. See, the 10X is not about you working with your parameters. It's about saying, no, I'm not settling anywhere. I'm getting it everywhere. If you don't have kids, I just had my first kid 3 years ago. Changed my life. You know, everybody says that, changed my life. I'm like, really? But you don't change your life. Dude, you gotta change your life. So if I was getting up at 7 and now I got a baby, I gotta get up at 5. I shouldn't have the baby waking me up. If the kids are waking you up, you ain't got your shit straight. You should be up before the kids. Oh, you can't say that on a webinar? You can say that anywhere.
No, you can't say that on the webinar.
Why can't you?
That is the second time you cursed on my webinar today.
Okay. That ain't even a cuss word. So look, you know, I don't wait for the kid to wake me up. I want to be up before she's up, because that's a much more proactive stance than being taken out of my sleep. I want to be up, right? What do I need to add some people? Do I need to add staff? Oh, I don't have the money to add staff. No, you're not getting money because you're not adding the staff. If you got to add staff, you got to add staff. It's an investment in me. Why would you have people working for you at your dealership and not helping you out in your home? I see a salesman making $200 grand a year, and then he's mowing his lawn on the weekends. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? You can't go from being a player, being one of the top salespeople in the country, and then you wash your own car and mow your own grass. It's a small think. So the think in this country, particularly in this industry, it needs to be bigger, you know? Big think. The salesmen need big think. The internet department needs big think, not little think. Everybody has a problem with, I got a problem with procrastination. So the thing is to have that problem less than more, right? So my wife says to me constantly, the second you have a thought, we'll be driving down the road, I'm like, oh man, I just thought about this guy, I got to call. Well, by that time, I'm already making a phone call. This is a habit in my life that I just build, okay? If I think about doing it, I do it. Because basically there's 4 levels of action that every human being takes. Everybody in this room, every day, goes through these 4 choices. No action, you probably have this as a question later, but it's part of this procrastination thing. Procrastination is an action, believe it or not. First, there's no action. Number 2, there is a retreat of activity. I'm actually retreating from activity, right? I thought about buying a stock and then didn't. That's a retreat. I thought about taking a customer and didn't. I thought about calling a guy back and didn't. The 3rd level is normal levels of activity. It's what most people operate on, the average. They actually compare themselves to other people. That's how you have an 8-hour day. An 8-hour day is built on action number 3, normal levels of activity. It's normal. It's socially acceptable, okay? Anytime you start hearing words like normal, socially acceptable, part of our culture, dude, you're already in trouble, okay? You don't know it. You've literally been, there's been a homicide committed and you're the only one that doesn't know it yet. Because everybody, hey man, it's normal, this is what we do, let's close the place up. We did our 8 hours. You know, it's Wednesday, hump day. Thank God it's Friday. All that is a bunch of freaking communism that is basically infiltrating our culture to lower the standards from American great to American whatever. Whatever, even that term, whatever, you know, all the new young kids today, whatever. I'm like, whatever. Shit, my life depends on this, man. It ain't whatever. The 4th level is massive. It's this, 10x. You think you needed to make 20 phone calls? Multiply times 10. That's probably closer to the truth. A guy starts a new business. He says, oh, it's gonna take me 5 months to become profitable. Dude, multiply times 10. It's probably gonna be 50 months. You think you needed 50 grand or 500? to start that business? Hey, start doing some multiplication, Jack. Okay, it's probably going to take $5 million. You're going to go through all your friends, all your family, both your dads. You're going through everybody, all their money, and then it still might not make it. See, businesses fail because people don't think like this. They think reasonable. They do all the math. Oh man, and you cut everything, don't you? Okay, I'm going to need this many people. Even if I only get a half of that, and only get a half of that, and only get a half of that, we're still going to be profitable. Yeah, but you haven't counted on Boston, 2 freaks, suicide cases, take pressure pots, throw nails and Vaseline in them. You didn't bank on that in your business plan, did you? No, you didn't bank on Lehman collapse. You didn't bank on a 9/11. None of that goes in anybody's business plan, much less your tooth cracked and you had to go to the dentist. All right? Your kid got sick and you had to go get her. Nobody ever puts any of that in their business plan. The bank will look at a business plan and never look at, oh yeah, but what about all the other stuff that just happens to people? How about that divorce that you didn't plan on? That literally sucked the life out of you for 3 years. See? So, 4 levels of action, okay? Which one of those 4 is the most dangerous? Huh? No action, retreat, backing up, average, or massive. The average is the most dangerous of all 4. The reason average is the most dangerous is because it's approved. It's approved of. People approve of average. Okay, if you don't do anything, if you stay at home, if I roll up on that couch in a fetal position all day, sooner or later, I mean, even the drug dealer's gonna tell you, bro, you gotta get off the couch, okay? You gotta quit using my drugs, okay? I mean, you're in a coma. See, no activity will not be allowed, right? The retreat, the guy's retreating, okay, which is actually a form of number 1. Because the truth is you can't do nothing. It's impossible to do nothing. If I think about calling a client and then don't, was that no action or a retreat? See, what y'all do is y'all call it procrastination. I'm gonna put it off. No, what you need to do is call it what it is. It's a freaking retreat. It's a retreat. It's a backing up. It's exactly what happened to our country when Lehman collapsed. It wasn't 1 or 2 people going backwards. It was the entire country contracting and retreating. I'm never going to spend money again. I'm never going to buy a house again. I'm never going to invest in the stock market. I'm not going to ever have a job again. I'm never going to work again. You know how many people are in retreat right now? Probably about 14 million people right now in retreat because they don't want to go back into the job place and take a job less than they deserve. Right? Maybe you got a college kid. He doesn't want to go get a job selling cars because he got a degree and he's too good for that now. So he's in retreat, you see? The third one's average. He works for you. Mr. Average works for you. You know? He sells 12 cars a month. He compares himself to the guys that did 8. Man, I'm doing better than them. Dude, you're average. You're average, bro. You're part of a cultural problem. The only one there is to be is number 4. Monster levels of activity until the point to where people are actually labeling you. They should be labeling you. Your customers should be complaining about my follow-up. Hey, they should be calling the executives. Tell that guy to quit visiting me at 12:30 at night. This guy's a maniac. Keep him away from my kids. But I'm the right model, would you agree? I'm the right model. I'm not the wrong one. I call a dealer at 9:15 in the morning. He doesn't call me back. I'll call him back at 9:30. He doesn't call me back. I'll call him back at 9:45. He doesn't call me back. I'll call him back at 10 o'clock. He doesn't call me back at 10 o'clock. I call him and say, hey, dude, I'm shipping this out if I don't hear from you in the next 7. Okay? I'm going to assume you want it and I'm shipping it out. Oh, he called me back now. See, I called him back 5 times in a period of about 50 minutes. Your people won't call him back 5 times. Who's got the shot here? Me or them? So the way, I think the question about procrastination is quit playing with procrastination. Don't even worry about it. What you want to do is you want to do everything in the moment, everything in the now, right now. When you think about it, make it a habit of doing it. You see this chick, I want to go say, I want to tell her how pretty she is. Good, go do it. Don't add time. If you're scared of it, you definitely want to do it because 10X people do what they're scared of. They fear things and know to move toward the fear. When I wrote this book, I was actually, my wife, who's an actress, I told my wife one day, I said, you know what? For me to sell real numbers of books, I got to get a TV show. I need a TV show and a radio show, and then I could sell real numbers of books. Because if you look at all the New York Times bestsellers, dude, they all got basically TV shows. And I was saying, I wonder how I would do that. This book was written prior to the first show in an attempt to convince my wife that I could actually sell a show, that it was the right level of action. So people typically, what they do is they build their business in verticals. You even hear the word vertical used a lot. Or zip codes, or target marketing, okay? It's a good idea, but actually it's a mistake. I mean, you want to target, but you also want to go this way. I want to go this way, vertical, and get strong vertical. And I also want to go horizontal. I want to go that way. Why? Because these people, even people that won't buy my product, I want them talking about me. Why? Because it heats up my vertical. So if you've been watching my career over the last 4 or 5 years, you've seen me do a bunch of stuff this way. Vendors in here actually have used it against me, saying Grant's in other spaces. Grant's doing real estate and Google, and he's doing other stuff, so he's not paying attention to automotive. But let me tell you, when this starts heating up, okay, when the fire starts catching on all this other stuff, it heats up your vertical. Because now car dealers are saying, oh, he got a radio show? Oh, he got a TV show? Oh, I saw him on Facebook? Oh, I'm sick of his tweets? Oh, I saw him in Fox Business? Oh, I saw him in Entrepreneur Magazine? You see, you can't stop it, okay? I mean, you want your competition talking about you. It's an indicator that you're actually 10Xing. Because when I can get Joe Verdi's group to talk about me, okay, you know what that means? They're promoting me. That's what it means. I don't care what they're saying about me. I don't care how bad or ugly it is. I don't care how many untruths they tell. All I need them to do is talk about me. So I'll do everything I can to get people to hate my guts. It's easy. You just got to stay with it, man. If you could get 50% of the people to hate you, you could be president of the United States of America. But you see, most people don't get any attention. They don't get enough attention. How do you get attention? Cheap way, no cost way. How about this? Hey! Hey! You get attention like that, right? I'm a homeless guy. Does a homeless guy need to get attention? Hey! See, homeless people just don't know how to get their, they're working with the wrong techniques. The dirty clothes work, the skank works, they stink, that works. Don't change any of that. That's right. People give people to dirty people so they get away from them. That's not a charitable act you're doing. You're doing it to like, here, get away. That's the reason people give money to homeless people, right? So watch, the homeless guy just needs some training. Bro, don't change the outfit. Don't change the fingernails. Keep them dirty, keep them skanky, and keep that stink on you, bro. It's working good. Now, what we need to do is we need to pump it up, dog. I need you on the street corner getting lots of attention. Hey! What'd that cost me? Nothing. Hey! Right? First thing you got to do is get attention. The second thing you got to do is you got to change the ask. You got to increase the ask. The homeless guy's asking for a quarter and he ought to be asking for 100. Either way, he's crazy, right? Hey, give me 100, man. And you got to swag it out like a homeless guy. Come on, man, right? Give me 100. See, all I'm trying to do is get attention. This is what you need to tell your people to do. Get attention. How many of you follow me on Facebook here? Okay. How many of you follow me on Twitter? Dude, do you know anybody that bangs social media harder than I do? I'll beat it to death until you unfriend me, unfollow me, or you decide to love me. Because I don't want the people that don't want to be with me. If you don't want me to be 10X, I'm divorcing you. I want to hit you all day long. So when the social mediums came out, I saw Facebook and Twitter. I'm like, dude, these are gifts from the gods. And nobody is going to use them right. Nobody will use these things right, especially me. I'm not looking to use them right. I don't care about doing it right. I care about beating it to death until it screams that it's being punished by me. It's a perfect vehicle. What do you care if people unfollow you? They're not coming to buy from you. Beat them to death. Just use different whips. Whip here, drumstick, fireworks. Just get creative with it, highly creative ways, okay? So I posted this 3 or 4 times today. I probably posted it more than Dealer posted it. Why? Because I want attention. Why? Because attention is survival. Attention is survival. It is natural to get attention. When you were born and you were hungry, what did you do? Huh? Hey! I need something to eat. Right? You couldn't talk yet, so you just screamed. It was cool, it was fine. And you tear the freaking house down to get what you wanted. You weren't a salesperson, you weren't born a salesperson, you were born a closer. You were greedy. Your survival depended on it. You were at 10x, and then something happened. You grew up. You got educated. You went to church. Your mom and dad told you, don't do that, don't do that, don't touch that, don't touch that. Dude, it's wrong. It's just programming. You got to deprogram and figure out, hey, how do I act like this? How do I get attention? Hey, there's no class way to get attention. How do you get attention? You make a commitment to get lots of attention, which means, and then we'll go to the next question, you have to be willing to get criticism. And you need to rethink the way what you think of criticism, okay? The guy calling me saying, hey, you got misspelled words in your book, right? Is that good or bad? Good. I got a book, right? Guy calls me, oh man, this is a true story. I'm living in Miami, and the guy that lives across from me, he read the 10X rule. He's a hedge fund operator, $2 billion hedge fund. He comes to me the other day, hey man, I read your book, man, I'm liking it, but I got some, here it comes. Here comes big billionaire bitch boy, okay? The guy says to me, he's like, oh man, you should have put this chapter in there and you should have put this chapter in there. I'm like, bro, have you ever written a book in your freaking life? Can you even finish a blog on your own? I've written 4 books in 4 years. You're gonna give me advice? Let's go have lunch and you can buy. Point is what? I need criticism. Now here's the trick. You wanna get the criticism turned up till they hate you. You want people to hate you, folks. Every great person that has walked planet Earth has been hated before they were admired. I'm willing to stand by what I believe in and be hated. So what, dude? I'm still here. Because if you can do that, if you can stand with that hate long enough, there's going to be the other side that basically polarize and support you. Rush Limbaugh says the people that love him listen to him 2 hours a day, and the people that hate him listen to him 4 hours a day. You need some haters. First thing that I do with my goal setting is I do it every day. Every morning and every night I write my goals down. Now I went out with these guys last night, and they're throwing tequila and margaritas around and free booze, and you go home at night, I'm like, wow, how do I write these goals down? But I still wrote them down. Every morning, every night, okay? Let's say I'm competing against Jim over here. I write my goals down 730 times a year. He writes his goals down once. Who wins? There's 3 times I write my goals down. Every morning when I wake up, every night before I go to sleep, and every time I lose. Every time I lose, the first thing I do is write down where I'm going. I'm driving in my car, I get in a wreck, okay? I ding my back door. I get a flat tire, I get a ticket, whatever. You don't pay attention to that. You pay attention to where you're going, okay? I lose a deal that I wanted. I don't pay attention to losing the deal. I pay attention to where I'm going by writing down where it is I'm going, okay? So the way I do it, first I commit highly to goals. Number 2, I write goals down that are unachievable. Like, my goal is to make sure 7 billion people know me in this lifetime. I want 7 billion people on planet Earth to know Grant Cardone's name and makes me synonymous with selling. It's impossible. I don't have a camel. Okay? I don't have a boat to do the Nile River in. I mean, there's no way. There's back countries that there's no way. It's impossible for me to get 7 billion people to know me. So what? What? I can still have the goal. So I want unachievable goals. I can't achieve them in this lifetime. I want to write them down every day. And what was the second part of that?
And every time you lose.
No, what was the second part of the question though?
Oh, how do you ensure that you achieve them?
I don't worry about whether I'm achieving them or not. I just grind at them all day long. I just keep pushing. My little girl told me, you might have heard this if you were in my morning meeting, but she said to me the other day, she said, Papa, you're not fair. She wanted something. She's like, that's not fair. I'm like, baby, life ain't fair. Life is not fair. Life is bad for a bunch of people. Too many people have bad lives. Y'all agree with that? It's good for a lot of people. A lot of people have a good life. It's great for that many, but it ain't fair. Fair don't come on planet Earth. Never has, never will. Let the politicians talk about fair, because it's not even real. It don't come, they can't bring it, they can't make it fair. It's bad, it's good, it's great. Which one you want? So that's what I want. I want big monster goals, okay? Big monster juicy goals, not money. Because I know this, my big juicy monster goals come with money. I've wanted to buy apartments since, I don't know, probably since I was 25 years old. I've always known I wanted real estate. I wanted real estate, not a house. A house is a house, Real estate, if you study very wealthy, successful people, by the way, every car salesman should be investing in what I'm about to say. When I was 25 years old, I wanted to buy real estate because I read books about it, and they're like, oh man, all financially successful people, including car dealers, by the way, who are really real estate people, not just car dealers, invest in real estate. So I didn't buy any real estate until I was 35 years old. I wrote down for over 5 years, I own 20 apartments. I wrote this down every day. I own 20 plus apartments. Never put a date on it. Okay, I own 20 plus apartments that cash flow 12% or more a year. I bet you I wrote that down, I don't know, thousands of times. The first apartment building I ever bought was 38 units. I wrote 20 plus. 30 days later, bought another apartment deal. It was 48 units. 3 months later, bought 95 units. Okay? So I didn't put a time on it. I just kept putting attention on the goal, Keep putting attention on the goal and the plus and make it big and juicy. The biggest mistake I made, I should have written 2,000 from the get-go. I should have written, hey, I'm going to get 2,000 apartments. I talk to people and I'm like, hey, dude, you scared? He's like, oh, no, I'm not scared of nothing. You need to be scared. Because if you're not scared, you're average. If you're not scared, you're average, you're doing average thing, you're stuck in a rut, you're playing it safe. You need to be scared. You need to be going to parties where you don't know anybody. You need to be reaching up, not sideways. You need to go get around people where you're feeling inferior. What's wrong with that, man? It's an indicator that this is a new environment. You should feel that stuff. You go into an environment and you're a little insecure because you don't know anybody, and you're having to, man, this is uncomfortable. You want fear. Fear is an indicator that you're on the hunt. That was the first profession. It wasn't prostitution, and it was not selling. The first profession was the hunter. And we don't hunt anymore. Even these conventions, we come to these conventions as vendors and think that all the food is going to come to us because it's the convention. Dude, you got to be a hunter. I don't think I do stay positive, I fight the deal just like everybody else does. Look, I just look for something else to crush. So, I mean, one is the only reason I read the news, the only reason I watch TV, look on the internet, or read a newspaper, the only reason is to figure out how to use the news to get attention. Okay, no matter what it is. Every day I'm scanning papers every day for one reason. How can I use this to get attention? That's the only reason I read the news. I like bad news. I like it because it's juicy. Okay? It's juicy because that's all the TVs go to what? The bad news. It's Boston, it's guns, the 3 girls, 10 years, whatever. They go to the bad news. I want the bad news because I want to use it, not be used by it. So if you stay busy enough, you're not going to have time for negativity. The old Rolling Stone catches no moss. That's true. You want to stay so busy, grinding out all the time, that you just don't have time for negativity. Like, man, I'd like to be a little bitch right now, but.
Really?
But, which means whiner, by the way. I'm just covering it. I'd like to be a little whiner right now, but you know what? I got this next meeting I got to go to. I don't have time. You're basically setting somebody else's goals, which happens to a lot of people. You set other people's goals, like the number one answer. How much money you want? The number one answer. What is it? $1 million. $1 million. Dude, that's not even your goal. That's not a goal. How would that be a goal? You didn't even put any thought into it. That's somebody else's idea of what rich is. So, if you said, I want $956,751, that would be a better goal. But it's dumb. It's a dumb goal because it's not enough money anyway. Like, why do you want to be poor? Just do the math. If you quit working today and got 40 years left to live, you got to live on $1,700 a month for the next 40 years. You can't live on it. All you did was say, hey, I want to be poor. He says, hey, once I buy in,
I'm there.
Once I buy in, how do I get my people to buy in? I never, ever, 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 ever ask anybody to buy in. Never. I never use that term. This term, buy-in, is more of an extension of average. Oh, I got to check with Joe and Bob and Bill. Bullshit. I ain't got to check with anybody about anything. Including.
You heard that, right? You heard that.
I ain't checking. I got this much time. This is my company. It's my way or go away. That's it, dude. We're not doing it your way. I didn't start this business and check with you. You guys are running operations. You're a dealer in the room, okay? You bought that store, and Jeff and Jim and Jibby, they weren't even with you. I tell my wife all the time, there's going to be 2 of us at the end of the day, baby, for sure. It'll be me and it'll be you. A lot of people are going to come and a lot of people are going to go. This is our deal. We do it my way. If we're going to make mistakes, it's Grant's mistakes, not some altered version of a mistake, right? So you don't want to do it here with me? Bro, go away. And I guarantee you, your people will actually be happier with that environment. 7 billion people on planet Earth. There's a small portion of them that want greatness. They want great environments where everything's crystal clear and there's a leader that says, we can do this, but we're doing it our way, my way. All the great teams, all the great wars that have been won, all the great ventures on this planet have been done not by buy-in, never a buy-in. Full commitment, burn the ships, we're going ashore, no way out, let's roll. I'm just writing goals. It's a free flow. There's no like goals. I want to be married. I want to be happy in my marriage. I want 3 kids. I want hundreds of millions of dollars. There's no whatever, dude. I want 10 million people following me on whatever. It doesn't matter. There's nothing. It's energy. It's just energy. It's just me trying to fill up. What is it that gets me excited? There's no such thing as burnout. Burnout is an excuse made up by people that lost their purpose. There's no such thing as burnout. It's impossible. It's garbage, okay? It's more this balanced, holistic, Dr. Seuss garbage. It's the psychologists that have infiltrated our society. Oh, you're burned out. Don't burn out. Don't work too hard. Enjoy life. Dude, get free. Get free. The most successfully financial people on this planet are not interested in comfort. They're interested in freedom. There is no such thing as burnout. Zero. Okay? What people do is they get off purpose. That's the better question. How do you stay on purpose? What's my purpose? Am I doing what my purpose is? Because if I'm not going to be excited. See, what happens is a guy goes into the marketplace, and then typically what happens, he doesn't get what he wants. So what he does, he comes home and tries to figure out why he didn't get what he wanted. And then he comes up with this. Oh, we don't have the right product. We don't have the right, it's the dealer's fault. The dealer didn't get me the product, so I couldn't sell it, and that's why I'm failing, okay? No, he's just making excuses. There's a whole chapter in this book on excuses. Every excuse you will use in your lifetime is in this book. You want to know what they are so that when you go to use them, it'll ruin you for life. The rest of your life will be ruined. Every time you'll use it, you'll be like, oh, that's me, preparing to be a victim. Excuses are basically retreats. So you got to be able to identify, what activity am I in? If the guy had 6 appointments today, he wouldn't be talking about his inventory. He'd have a different set of problems. By the way, you will immediately know that you're living 10x when you have a new set of problems. Okay? 10x activity, when you kick your activity way up, you're going to end up with a new set of problems. New problems are good. If you have old problems, you hadn't kicked it up. The GM needs to be like, hey man, I'm going to blow this place up with or without permission. And I think he gets committed, you know, so committed that he starts getting those extra 20 pieces, 40 pieces, 50 pieces, and he says, hey man, dude, move over, Mr. Dealer, stay on your boat, you know, stay on your boat. I'll send you the financial statement, because that's what the dealer really wants from that GM anyway. What they don't want is 10x spurts. Come to a convention, get the spurt, oh, and no follow through. Like you got to keep going. The things I think are most important in a leader, you know, is probably just completely reverse of what you're being told every day. And for me, it's the leader. You know, for me in a sales organization, I'm a sales organization. One of my guys are struggling on the phone. I don't ask them what's going on. I ask them for a phone number. You know, guy struggle. Hey, what'd you do with that guy? I didn't sell him. Good. Give me his phone number. Oh, well, let me tell you about him. Dude, I don't need your story, bro. I need his phone number. There ain't no money in your story. The money is in the phone number. So what I'm going to do, look, I don't write books to write books. I write books because I'm trying to leave a legacy. This is who I am. This isn't a pretend for me. I'm not a guy that writes one thing and then acts some other way on it. Like if you went and spent a day with me, I guarantee I'd wipe you out. I don't care who you are in this room. I would wear you plumb out. That's who I am. This is how I operate. I'm just trying to pass a message on at a time where our culture sucks. Nobody wants to do this. Go ask your kids that are in college. Hey, you want to learn to sell? What? They hate the idea. Okay? Ask one of them if they know anything about closing and negotiating. Nothing, zero. Okay? They can't, maybe text. How do I get what I want? All I know how to do is complain. Right? So they look at a job on the internet. 80,000, the average person gets 80,000. You know what that means? In this book, it means this. Some people get paid 60, some people get paid 100, most people get paid 80. Dude, do you know how to get 100? You don't get what you're worth. You get what you ask for, repeatedly ask for, and then can make sense of. So this book is about closing deals. This book is about, hey, how do I get in front of enough people that want to buy my product, and the right people? See, but nobody knows how to do this. And then so, see, it's why did I do this? You don't write books to make money. If I would have been doing the right thing in response to this question, these books all would have said what? How to sell a car, how to close car deals, how to prospect for car dealers. But I didn't write those books. Why? Because I'm telling you, I'm trying to solve my own problem, okay? I could go vertical or I could go horizontal. I could go bonfire or I could go brush fire. Or hey, I could get them both burning. Get me a bonfire going, a brush fire going, just torch planet Earth. People can't do what's good. They don't start what's good for them, and they don't stop what's bad for them until somebody says, hey, do it and do it now. So like my little 3-year-old, she contributes to my household. You know, I teach her how to do stuff. She wants a cookie. I'm like, hey, you want a cookie? Go get a cookie. I ain't the cookie monster, man. You want a cookie? Go get a cookie, okay? We were on a plane coming from Venezuela. I'm like, look, there's probably 50, 60 people on this plane. Somebody's got cookies. Go work them for cookies. Don't work me. So the same thing with my employees. Like, you want a bonus? You know what your bonus is? Bring more money in here and I'll give you a bonus. I don't have any money to give you, man. See, I tell people the truth. You know, you don't like it? Quit. I had a guy come to me the other day. I need a pay raise. Good, go get it. Go get it. But you're talking to the wrong guy. I don't have any money to give you, brother. Okay? Planet Earth has got the money. Strangers have everything you want. You had parents, and you as a parent taught your kids, don't talk to
Strangers.
That's the dumbest thing you could ever teach a kid. Now they can't get a job. The great people never get replaced, ever, ever. Why did bank tellers get replaced? Bank tellers like a finance manager. Why did bank tellers go away? Machines. No, not because of machines. That's not true. Cost cutting? No. You know why they went away? Because they're freaking worthless. They add no value to the process. They are average and mediocre. All things that are average will disappear over time. I don't need the bank teller because she's not great. So we're going to replace her with a machine because it's cheaper. But if she was great, she'd become president of the bank. So what he's got to do is quit thinking about, I got a department. I got to become a finance manager. No, what he needs to do is go this way. He needs to worry more about that sales team that touches every deal before they get to your office. So I would tell you, your problem is not finance. Your problem is the people before they get to you. Before I got in the car business, when I was standing in an unemployment line and my uncle told me, don't go get that check. I was 23 years old, my uncle told me, all government programs are scraps. They're leftovers. Once you take the scraps, you've agreed to take the leftovers. I'm like, dude, I'm out of work. No, you're not. Right now, you're standing in a line working. I'm going backwards, okay? Let's go get you a job, man. I'm like, well, what kind of job? He's like, get in the car business. They'll hire you. They always hire people. They'll hire anybody. This is 25, 30 years ago. I said, how much money can I make? 4 or 5 grand? I'm like, hey, dang. You know, I shouldn't have gone to college. That was stupid. Particularly because the first thing a car dealer told me was, the less you know, the better off you are. So I'm like, well, I didn't even need an education. So I think the best advice I was given was for my uncle to get in the car business, and then another man named Ray Sullivan, who was a wholesaler, and said, every skill, every day you have the ability to develop skills in this business, like not like other businesses, that you'll be able to take with you anywhere you go. And I think that's when there was a big turning point for me to start really practicing and training and educating and reading books and digging in.